A rambling, incoherent response. Were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought?
As always, that's a play on words. Of course, we have rational thoughts on the show. I just think it's funny, and every time I see it, I have a little smile on my face. And today's no different. Welcome to the show, Author Your Brand Show. Your host, Doug Crow. It's a show where you're going to want to take notes. And today, if you're a human being and you live in a house or an apartment or condo, you're going to want to pay attention. You're going to want to take notes. Our guest today is a team leader for Team Jeet at eXp Realty. And her philosophy is value, vision, victory. That's what she believes is the core of not just her business, but her life. And her slogan is, "I can impact one person's life per day towards progress. It's a win." So without further ado, I'll introduce our guest today, Harjeet Rathour. Harjeet, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Doug. Thank you so much. I love that introduction too.
You do? That's great. Okay. Well,
made me laugh too.
It's funny. The real estate market has been just smoking hot now for several years. Pandemic aside, we don't care. It just kept rolling through. Inventories are low, demand is up, so prices are going to go up. What have you seen out there, and what's the take in the market?
Well, interestingly, as you said, people don't care even through the pandemic because they want to now. What happened is within the city areas, they don't want to be on top of each other anymore. Yeah. So what's happening is people are moving more out towards the suburbs and more towards like where there's space. Mm-hmm. So because the inventory is so low, it did go up. And even beyond that going up, with the interest rates going up just recently, in the last couple of months, that didn't stop either. Mm-hmm. Because people know now why they need to move out and why the space is so much more needed. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're seeing right now. There's no slowdown. That's not what we've been seeing. No. And actually, I was telling you earlier, Doug, I'm walking and going through a walkthrough later on today. So it's just going to keep rolling right now.
That's great. Good business for you. Yeah. So it's great if you want to sell a house and then don't want to move anywhere. But the problem is, of course, with such a high market demand and prices going up, there's a problem. If you don't have a place to go and you sell your house for top dollar or over asking price, where do you go? And now all of a sudden you're not a seller, you're a buyer. So let's talk about buyer. Even if you sell, you make money, you're still stuck because you got to buy. You got to go somewhere, right?
Yep, that's one of the number one questions that we're getting with sellers right now. So last week I saw someone who already purchased a house and now is ready to sell. Yeah. So they've already put themselves in a position where I'm not worried about a place to go because I already purchased the place. And they didn't have their house as a contingency to sell or to purchase their house. Yeah. One thing that we have been that's been open to us now as a resource for buyers is that when you team yourself up with a great mortgage lender, and the mortgage lender has a program that's already approving for the appraisal, so you know the specific house that you're looking at. Mm-hmm. And once you know that this is the specific house I'm looking at, this is the offer I want to put in, that bank can say, okay, this is what the appraisal amount we can guarantee for you. And if the appraisal comes in underneath that amount, like say it's a $600,000 house, right, and it's listed for $600,000, and you want to put an offer in for $650,000. If that mortgage, it's happening. If that mortgage lender can approve that appraisal at $660,000 or $700,000, and it comes up as appraised as $700,000, then that $650,000 you're already guaranteed that you have that appraisal. So that puts the buyer at a more, you got better terms as a seller to look at that buyer, because now you know this person, it can be appraised for it.
Right. I'm still suspect though. I'm seeing people or talking to people saying they're looking at properties or offers with no contingencies. That still has a contingency because they got to get the appraisal done. How long does the appraisal take?
The appraisal takes, normally in a normal market, it would take about 3 weeks. It has been taking a little bit longer because the banks are backed up.
Right.
That's the reason why this is so important. That appraisal, like to know that that house can be appraised up to that value.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because with that appraisal contingency of letting go the appraisal and letting go inspection, now you're already putting yourself as a buyer to not know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
Because you've waived your inspection, and now you don't know where the appraisal is going to be at. So say it's $700,000 and you put an offer, or let's stick with the 600. Say it's $600,000 and you put an offer for 650.
Right.
But the house is appraised for $600,000. Where are you going to come up with this $50,000? Are you going to come up with the $50,000? Do you have funds for it? So those are the questions that, I ask my buyers for the sellers or the buyer's agent is, does your client have that much money to come up if the house doesn't get appraised?
Right.
But now with that letter that states this house with this property, this bank can accept the house being appraised up to this much value.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know that you're not going to back out on it, because as long as it gets appraised within that value, you're good.
Okay.
So it's better.
It might take them 3 or more weeks to find that out.
3, yeah. It will, like, so the last property I did, it took about 2 weeks for the appraisal to come out. So it just depends.
All right. So, but that's not going to help somebody if they're up against somebody's the cash offer. Like, hey, I'll just give cash offer with no contingency whatsoever, right? I mean,
actually, no, because it's the same thing. Say if somebody had, if you have a cash offer and now you put some more contingencies on, say I want you to fix this, I want you to fix that.
No, let's assume that there's no contingencies. Like, I'm not here as a cash offer.
Oh, then if there's a cash offer but the only way it is if the cash offer is lower than the offer that's being presented with the appraisal guarantee.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a better offer to go through that, because money is money.
Yeah. I might be talking out of my butt. I don't know. I mean, do people making cash offers with no contingencies? That's what I heard, but is it true?
I've seen it happen. Yeah. I've lost so many offers because they had better offers.
Wow. It's a good time to be a listing homes versus being a buyer's agent, I guess.
Buyer's agent. It really is right now. I mean, the shift will happen soon. But at the time, yes, you're a listing agent, so it's just so much better. But as a buyer's agent, there's still hope, and you're still looking for a property for your client, and the job is to bring them the best terms to get that offer accepted.
Right. So the appraised based financing is a great thing for most people. That's good. Doesn't help you on the muckety mucks. What other things can people do as a buyer to put themselves in a better position of power when they're trying to buy a house?
You have that appraisal contingency. I mean, I would never recommend not having an inspection. I know a lot of agents right now, they're taking that and it's like just bypassing it, but that's just not. It's not in the best interest of the client or the customer who's purchasing that house. So I would say scratch that. Just always get an inspection done on a property. Another thing is that they could do is really have your finances together. And when you're ready to put the offer in, you have everything. So once you give everything to your real estate agent, they have your file ready. They have your finances, not just your pre-approval. You have a commitment letter. So you're already guaranteed and you're already verified by the bank. It's just not a contingency. It's just not a pre-approval letter based on the numbers you gave them. So I've seen that happen where a client would give a pre-approval, and when it came time to get put the offer in and get into contract, the bank didn't approve the mortgage.
Oh.
Because they didn't verify the information before.
Oops.
So So I think it's so important for all of that verification to be up front.
Yep.
So when now you know exactly what numbers you're looking at, what price range you're looking at. You walk in, you find the property that you want, and your agent's going to go in and negotiate for you, and everything is there in front of them.
Yeah.
This client is ready to close tomorrow if they can.
Yeah.
You know?
What's the biggest surprise or like spike over asking price you've seen?
100,000. Yeah.
Wow. What is the house with had gold faucets or what? What was the asking price?
The asking price was 500. Sold for 6.
Oh my gosh. 20% more?
20% more. I mean, I had a property that I listed for 540 and we sold for 580. So that was $40,000 asking.
Okay, so a couple questions come to mind. Like I'm a seller, right? So okay, I may or may not know what my house is worth. The realtor comes in and tells me, oh, 500 grand. And an offer comes for 600. I'd be happy, but I'm also like, what's wrong with the realtor? Doesn't they know that the market is calling it at 6?
So the market's not calling it at 6.
Yes, it is.
The buyer,
because the market is what the buyers say it is.
Yeah, the buyer's saying it. So what we do is at the time, I got your question. At the time of the comps of the comparing the houses, that's what at that time within the 6-month period those houses were sold. So that's where those numbers are coming from. Yeah. So what happened is during the pandemic and now with just last year when the world opened up again and realized we don't want to live in, cramped up houses, we need a backyard, they're willing to pay that now. Whereas 2 years before they weren't willing to pay that.
Okay, but this is the 60 minutes question here. That's been 2 years.
2 years.
Comps are 6 months in arrears. So we've had 6 months of pandemic in arrears.
So that's where that's coming from now, Doug, is that now today we see where the market's at. So we're using those numbers from these past 6 months. We're not using, so those numbers are now new. We're not seeing as much of over asking as we was in 2021.
There we go. Okay, so this year has been a little bit easier on the mind versus last year was stupid. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Exactly. So what's happening now is we were as agents afraid of that appraisal now. Because,
right.
Because we're like, is this house going to appraise at this much?
Right.
They're putting up that much offer, but the market's already spoken for last year. Yep. So now it's much more easier to market it and price at those prices. Yeah. Where now the banks are more comfortable with appraising it at that value.
All right.
The market already did speak.
One of the things, and this is I'm making this up from my previous past in real estate, many years ago. But I've always, and this works in business, like when you love something, when you focus on, you love something too much, when you get attached to it, you're emotionally involved, it's not a good business decision. So a home is definitely an emotional purchase, but if I treat it like a business, I'm generally better off as a negotiator. Now, when you're looking at just one home, it's impossible to be non-emotional about it. Oh, I can see myself there. Do you have anybody who like me who's like, I'm going to make an offer on like 5 homes?
Oh yeah. I do. Like I see 3 houses that I like. I want to make sure at least I get one of those houses.
Okay.
So let me put an offer in on all of them, see which one gets accepted.
Right.
So that's what I've been seeing a shift in because of what's going on.
Right.
Because before it was like, okay, I just want to make sure that I get this house. I want this one. Yeah. But it's so much more harder just because of that low inventory. Yeah. And the reason why we have that low inventory is because as soon as something comes on the market, it's off in a week.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I would suggest is like, this is why preparation is key, because if you have everything in order, you see that house that you want, you put the offer and start your negotiation within a day or two, that house is going to somebody else.
Now, I've invested in real estate for like 20 years of my life. I did plenty of deals on my own, plenty of deals using realtors. Have you seen a shift in people's attitude saying, listen, the market's hot, I don't need you?
I have seen some people like that, and I have seen some people like, oh, actually, no, the overwhelming amount of inquiries that they're getting, overwhelming amount of calls that they're getting.
Right.
Is like, no, I need somebody to take care of this part. So according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, if you go with the real estate agent, you're going 99%. I'm sorry?
You're gonna get more money for sure. That's been my experience.
99% you're going to get asking price.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're getting over asking. And it's due to the marketing that they're doing. Because if you're selling for sale by owner, you're really just putting it on that one website or Zillow, and then that's it. That's just the amount of exposure that you're going to get for that property. And you're attracting real estate agents to call you at your house.
That's my next question, right? So do you still personally look for inventory and door knock or anything to get listings?
So I used to do that. In my state right now, we're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to knock on a door?
We're not allowed to knock on a door.
Wait a minute. What state is this?
New York.
Wow. Okay. You have to wear a mask when you go out there too? Not just go ahead.
Let's not go in that rabbit hole.
It's my show. I can talk about what I want.
So no, yes, I used to, and that was great. But that's what I used to do is like knock on a door. This person, you're selling a house, so like, what are you doing to sell your house? How many phone calls are you getting? And who are you getting phone calls from?
Right.
So another way is, okay, if I have a buyer for that house, and if there's not really like, sometimes the marketing that for sale by owners do is, bless them, is just not that so great, that you can't really notice what's in the house. You can't really see the house. So it's like, okay, can I take a look at this property so that I can see if it's a good fit for my client?
Right.
And then if it is, I can bring my client. I do have a client who's pre-approved for this property.
Right.
At this price.
All right.
So, I mean, that's another way you could look for inventory for your clients.
Yeah. All right. So what are you doing? If you're not allowed to knock on doors, I know we're both connected to Bob Berg and the Go Giver. So I know we're like, giving our expertise and sharing and not worrying about, but what do you do to get more clients for yourself? How do you market yourself?
So I heavily am marketing online right now. So I have my social media accounts that I'm consistently working on. I've been building it since 2020, and it's been growing. I've also been networking with within our groups and networking outside right now, where like I'm involved in the community so that I can actually say, here I am. Yeah. I can help you. I can serve you. I just need to know how can I serve you.
That's right.
And so that's how I've been building and gaining business right now.
All right. Well, I'm sure there's more than one realtor in your area. So if I was in New York and I want to hire a realtor, why would I hire you?
Because I do look out for the best interest of my buyer, which, or seller, which is most agents. But what I would say for me is different is I wouldn't want to say different, because I would hope professionals are like this. I do truly care about what you're looking for. I want to listen to what you actually like. Why is it that you're moving?
Yeah.
What is it that you're moving from? So like, what is it that you don't want? Because if you don't want that, I don't want to find it for you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I think I've
always heard it's not the first question. It's the second question that matters, right? Like,
yes.
I'm looking for 4 bedrooms. Why? It's like,
why?
Okay. Yeah. Right.
I mean, I don't know if I'm frozen, Doug. Am I frozen?
No, you're vibrant. You're moving. It's good.
Oh, okay. Because it's my screen on the thing is frozen. Okay, that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, because you could tell me that you want 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a basement, what are you using these rooms for?
Yeah.
What are you utilizing it for?
That's right.
Because that's so important to understand. It's like if you're finding a house for somebody who likes to cook, the kitchen is the most important part of the house. So
Sure
that
is,
is what you're going to look for and highlight with them.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's looking for a basement because they want to play their music and they have a band and they want to practice in the basement and they want a soundproof basement, there are houses that are already built like that.
Wow.
So you
Cool.
could find those houses for them.
Yeah. Very neat. Very neat.
So,
Okay, so your attention to detail and getting deep into the needs of your client is the one reason to hire you, right?
I would say.
Okay. Well, you should. This is your opportunity to do so.
Yes.
I don't know how many people in New York are going to see this, but you never know. So it's important to have, and you can share it on social media, etc.
Yeah, and I believe so much in trust and value. So this is why. So here are my 3 words: value, vision, victory. I will first find the value in what you're looking for. I'll help you. I'll walk through that value with you by asking you those questions.
Yeah.
And understanding what does it mean for you? What does this house mean for you? Now that we have the value of it, we're looking at the vision, we're looking at your future. So we're going to walk through your future with you and see that vision, see something that you can't see. Maybe, hopefully, I could help you and give you an insight on your future and your vision. So now we've defined your vision and we've defined your value. The next step is victory into walking into your home. So when you think of Team Jeet or you think of Realtor Jeet, it's value and victory. So that's why you would choose me.
Okay. Well, how do they get a hold of you then? Let's put it in the show notes below here. But go ahead and tell us.
Okay, I don't know how to put it.
No, just tell me. I'll put it in the notes.
Okay. So you can reach out to me on Instagram at Realtor Jeet, and also my phone
That's
number.
Realtor Jeet, right?
Yes,
Realtor Jeet.
REALTOR.
Yeah.
Jeet, JEET.
Got it.
And yeah, so also I have my Linktree account, which has all of my websites on there.
All right.
So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook. YouTube is great, where I'm always giving out value, not just through real estate, but life and business in general. So you can also reach out to me on that or watch those videos. They're amazing videos. Very and cool. I am going to give you my number.
All right. Put it out there.
I can find my number.
You don't know your number? You can't just roll it off the top of your head here?
It's my real estate number.
Oh.
So
we don't want your super secret personal. Give me the business line here.
Yes, it's 631-364-7737.
All right.
So you can reach me out. Yep, you can reach out, text me, and look at my websites. And there is a link on it's harjeetrathor.exprealty.com.
Okay.
I'll write it to you, Doug.
Yeah, you can put it. We'll put it in the show notes here. It's fine. Yeah.
And there you could see the value of your house. There's like a link says what's my house worth.
Oh, cool. Right.
So you could see the value of your house without even having to, contact me right away.
Yeah. And in today's dollars, not 21, 22.
Yeah, in today's dollars. And then, if you're local, I can help you locally and narrow down that value. And if you're not local, then I can help connect you to a local agent.
Yeah, you can refer someone. Great. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. HarjeetRathour.exprealty.com. Check it out, folks. Harjeet, any closing words on home ownership?
Home ownership. I don't know if I'm frozen right now.
You're not frozen. Just give me any closing bits of wisdom you want to share.
So home ownership is the best decision I know I've made for myself.
Yeah.
I bought my house back in 2012. We've been working on our house. We've been building it. We just built our garden. It's just a really great sense of self.
Yeah.
It's a really great sense of having something to call home. And not only is it something to call home, you also have your investment in there. So
Right.
this is something that you're either, so here's the thing, you're either paying for somebody's mortgage or you're paying for your own mortgage.
That's right.
So whose mortgage would you rather pay for? I'd close
Well
with that.
stated. Thank you so much. All
My
right.
pleasure.
That's Harjeet Rathour from Team Jeet on Instagram. Check her out. She knows what she's talking about if you want a house, especially if you're in New York. She's the one to go to. Harjeet, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you.
You bet. All right. And that concludes our show for today on the Author Your Brand Show. Don't forget to take notes and click below for some goodies. When you subscribe, you get some free stuff from us, so it's not a bad deal. Have a good one.